I think Square is a very troubled business, and I've been saying this for some time. I'm a little disappointed that they haven't received more skeptical scrutiny, not just because, we want to be, hard on Jack Dorsey, who was sort of being, deified for a while last fall, but more because the business itself is a very, very difficult thin margin business. They get, something like 20% of their actual fees, which are only like 2.5%, 2.75% in the first place. They only about a fifth of it goes back to Square, and as people have repeatedly pointed out, the more the volume, the more money they lose. I mean, it's a very difficult business to sustain on small businesses at current margins, and that doesn't go away. And so what it implies is that you either change your marketplace or you end up being acquired. One of those two things was inevitable. They weren't changing their market, so you have to believe that this is a company that badly needs to be acquired, and it has to happen in relatively short order, or they get a very, very dilutive financing comes in over their heads.
This is a company that did a secondary offering at $5.2 billion, a $5.2 billion valuations.
Right.
They do take a 2.75% fee. Most of that goes to the credit card companies. A small percentage goes to Square. Tom, how much of Square's success is based on the fundamentals, and how much of it is based on Jack Dorsey and the guy he is?
No, he makes a big difference. I mean, he's a name. He's somebody that people want to believe in, and they like what he's done in the past, and he's got a track record. Those things matter a lot, but at the end of the day, you need to have a product that people want. It's a very interesting product. It's very innovative, and I think that there's a lot to be said for what Square actually does. The problem is it's easy to be replicated. And as Paul pointed out, those are very narrow, very razor-thin margins. You need scale in a case like that, and that's what a bigger partner like a Google would give you. Square very adamantly saying there are no talks, there have been no talks. They seem very adamant about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there has been some interest over the last several months in this company at the right valuation.
I also talked with eBay CEO John Donahoe when he was here at Bloomberg. He claimed they never talked with Square either. I do want to read that statement from Square. They said, "We are not, nor have we ever been in acquisition talks with Google. And while we appreciate Square may be an attractive target for some companies, we have never seriously considered selling to anyone or been in any talks to do so." Paul, what do you think Square's destiny is? How does this play out?
It gets acquired. I don't see any other path forward right now. I mean, I have no doubt that the transaction, the payment marketplace, is going through this wrenching change. But I think at the end, it's not going to be paving the old sort of cow paths of transactions where you try to steal margin from credit card companies. There's going to be some fundamental rethinking of how we do payments entirely, whether it's through Bitcoin, side chains, or whatever else. That's what's going to happen here. This is going to turn out to be sort of an interregnum between the two payment periods. And this is a company that tried and failed to make the transition, and is probably going to be acquired at some point, probably within the next 6 months.
Acquired for more than $5 billion?
I doubt it, but, it all depends on strategic fit. If somebody says, I really want, Jack and I love his vision, they'll pay more. If they say, I just want this as a business, they'll pay less.